Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another there and back in a day challenge. How far can I get from Glastonbury in a day and get back without getting lost, marooned or stuck in the middle of nowhere? Today we're off to somewhere quite nice, but first we've got to catch a bus to Bristol. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to Bristol, and once we got to Bristol, we got to Temple Meads. We got to Temple Meads, we got on this, the 10:57 to Newport. Why are we going to Newport? Well, we're not going to Newport, we're going to change trains there. I'll tell you more a little later on. Here we are in Newport Station. As you can see, it's quite a construction here, isn't it? We're going to go, you can use a lift. I'm going to go down the stairs. My train from Bristol ran slow out of Bristol and didn't get up to speed until we hit the Severn Tunnel. So we are delayed here at Newport, which means basically I have to get a different train. So I'm swapping across now to platform 4, where the train to our final destination will arrive shortly, and I will tell you where that is when it gets here. Well, there's the train, but which one of those destinations are we heading for? I'll tell you very shortly. So while we're waiting for our train to arrive, just a quick reminder, these challenges that we do are set by you, our viewers, and they're chosen by people who watch the Tuesday night show that we put out every other week. We're doing another one next Tuesday, and there'll be a chance to have your suggestions put into the hat. So if you've got somewhere where you think might challenge us a little bit, the rules are we start and finish in Glastonbury on the same day. We use public transport, no taxis and no cars. So it has to be bus, trains, planes, boats, whatever, in a day from Glastonbury, which probably rules out planes, but you know what I mean. So yeah, if you've got a suggestion, pop it through. And also, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe. It helps our algorithms and does things to help the channel grow, you know. All YouTubers say it, but please do it anyway. Thank you very much. Back to the film. And so, we are on a train out of Newport, heading that way. And I can tell you that today's destination is Hereford. And not just Hereford, but we've got to go and see the Mappamondi when we get there. So, we're off to Hereford to see the Mappamondi, and there might even be a chain library to look at. Let's go. Well, as you can see behind me, I've made it to Hereford, here in Herefordshire, county town. So the first thing we've got to do is find out where the cathedral is. For that, I need my trusty phone. Back in a minute. Oh, this was a pleasant surprise. I got outside Hereford station and a bus turned up. Pleasant surprise number 1. This bus is free to travel on.
Our first stop is the county hospital.
Second pleasant surprise, it's electric. Well done, Hereford. Nicely done. And of course, Hereford, we're in Apple Central here. This is where cider's made. Hence the apples all over the bus. Well, there it goes, ladies and gentlemen. The electric powered zipper. Free circular bus. Every town should have one, and look at the beautiful building it just drove past. I do love it when they put these churches to other uses during the day. This is fantastic. They've even got a mezzanine level. This is brilliant. There's a full-blown cafe going on in here. Absolutely splendid. More churches should do this. And yes, it's still a church. As can be seen from the sign back there. Well then, we've made it here at least, so that's half the challenge complete. Now we're heading down to complete the challenge because it included visiting the Mappa Mundi, which I personally have never seen before. But the Mappa Mundi and the Chain Library, which share the building with it, are that way, behind the camera. So we're heading there now. I think that's the cathedral grounds where the railings are. Well, if ever a building said "Here I am," that one's saying "Here I am." And behind these trees, as I walk down the road, is Hereford Cathedral, our destination. The reason for being here and the source of our challenge. Let's head in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is certainly a spectacular entrance. You come in via the west end, and it looks like we're going round there to where the entrance is. And hey, the sun's come out. Worship has taken place on this site since the 8th century. The building you see here was begun in 1079. Substantial parts of it are Norman and Gothic, and it is Grade 1 listed. The church itself is dedicated to two saints, St Mary the Virgin and to St Ethelberg the King. We are told that Offa, of Offa's Dyke fame, gave his daughter to Ethelberg in marriage, but before the great day could happen, Offa decided to remove Ethelberg's head. We don't know why. Nobody seems to know. There's nothing written down about it. It was just one of those things that they did. A pious monk brought Ethelbert's body to Hereford and buried it at the little wooden church there. Miracles were soon being reported, and these continued. And by the following century, a Mercian nobleman called Milfrid decided he would rebuild the wooden church in stone to protect the shrine. And so the cathedral began. I'll put a link in the description if you want to read more about the cathedral. It has a fascinating history, not least of which, on Easter Monday in 1786, the West Tower collapsed. This completely destroyed the west front of the cathedral and some of the nave. James White was called in to repair the work. However, instead of repairing, he made the alterations, giving us the west front we have today, much to some people's dislike and others like. Hereford also holds one of only 4 of the 1217 Magna Cartas to survive. Sometimes this is put on display in the Mappamundi library. However, sadly, on the day I was there, it wasn't for show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that Hereford Cathedral is a stunning building of great beauty, and unlike certain greedy cathedrals I can mention, they managed to survive on donations. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you the other reason I've come here to Hereford Cathedral today, because I wanted to see this. It's the SAS Memorial Window here in Hereford Cathedral, dedicated to the brave men of the Special Air Service, of those who've gone before and of those who'll come. We salute you for your bravery. Thank you. Two candles, ladies and gentlemen. One for my mum and dad, one for Jeff's. Rest in peace, guys. The more I explore this cathedral, the more I'm falling in love with it. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. Look at this little courtyard. How amazing is that? Well, here we are at the entrance to the Chain Library and Mappamundi. We've paid to get in, and here is a representation of what a chain library is all about. You have a book, in this case the print of a book. These things were worth a fortune, and so they were chained in, so that yours truly couldn't walk out with it. But we're going to see the real thing when we get inside in a minute. The Mappamundi is the largest medieval map to still exist. It isn't so much a map of the world, as many believe, as it is a religious rather than literal depiction, featuring heaven and hell, and the path to salvation. Interestingly, east is at the top of the map rather than north, and even to this day, when we set a map up so that we can read it, we are orientating the map. This comes from the expression to orient or put the east at the top. In 1988, the Diocese of Hereford was rather skint, and they actually proposed the sale of the Mappamundi. Can you believe that? So great was the public outcry that large donations began to come in, not least of which from the National Heritage Memorial Fund and Paul Getty. Heard of him before? And also members of the public chipped in, and this kept the map in Hereford, and it allowed the construction of the Cathedral Library. The Chain Library here holds around 1,500 books, and these date from the 15th to the early 19th century, although it has around 56 books published before 1500. Many of the books in the library collection date back to about 1100. The oldest, the Hereford Gospels, is actually written in Saxon and dates back to 780. Many books were from the 14th century and are related to county laws. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We've completed the challenge almost. We've still got to get home today, but I've come to Hereford Cathedral. I've looked around the cathedral. I've bought a Mappa Monday. Part of my challenge was to buy a Mappa Monday, which I will put up in the studio when I get home. But we have a Mappa Monday. So the task now is to get home from here in Hereford back to Glastonbury. I think at first I'm going to find myself a coffee just to get myself up to cruising altitude, but then we'll be heading back to the station for the journey back again, and then it'll be time for our next challenge. Who knows where that will be? That's up to you guys next Tuesday, when we'll be throwing the dice of destiny again. But for now, from Hereford, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. One thing I can tell you for nothing, I'm definitely coming back to spend more time here this summer. It's ever so easy to get to by train. There's lots to see that I've not even started looking at yet. And the cathedral here, they do tower tours. You can go up there. The tower behind me, I want to do that. You know me and going up towers. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the overarching impressions I will take away of this cathedral is the sheer scale and beauty of its never-ending stained glass. Everywhere you go, look at that peeking through there. What is that? Let's go and have a look in there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I walk away from the cathedral behind me, heading back across town towards maybe a coffee, certainly a train, and the end of this challenge, I will be back we've hardly scratched the surface of this beautiful town. The cathedral is stunning, and they do tower tours. And you know me and towers, I'm going to go up the tower if we've got one. We'll be back. So, now starts the fun part. We got here, we've got to get back. Starts right here with the Z bus, the little electric bus. It's going to take us back to the station. I'm so impressed with this. It's free, it goes round in a loop, it comes past every 15 minutes. Every town should have one. Why hasn't they? Anyone comes now?
How was your holiday?
Oh, amazing.
You enjoy
They
it?
always are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hello, fella.
No, that's it. Was the weather nice, Keith?
Yeah, it was, as it normally is, it was quite nice here as
Yeah.
well last week.
It was, yeah. It makes a change with the late early,
Yeah, yeah.
That really was the best fish and chips I've ever had. That is a beaut.
I was quite lucky as a lad because I used to be able to go up into the office. That was all offices at one time. My father worked up there. So
Oh, did he? GWR, eh?
he done 40 years on the railway, my dad did.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there it goes. Driven by the wonderful Keith. The zipper. He's finished for the day now. Lovely man. Told me loads and loads and loads. Those zipper buses are excellent. Keith, the driver of our bus, was telling me that when he was a kid he was lucky. He used to be able to go to the upstairs there, which used to be offices when it was GWR, because his dad used to work there. So as a treat he used to go up and see his dad at work. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the wonderful Hereford. There's the signal box you can see over there in the distance. And as Keith the bus driver is telling us, this station hasn't changed much in all those intervening years. So our train is going to go from the platform over there. So let's go up the stairs and get over the bridge.
Train now approaching platform 2 is the 1751 Transport for Wales service to Carmarthen, calling at Newport, Cardiff Central, Bridgend, Pyle, Port Talbot Parkway, Bagnall, Britain Ferry, Newark, Skewen, and Sandwich.
Croeso ar dren Trafnidiaeth Cymru. Byddwn yn teithio I Caerfyrddin.
Well then, update time. We've made it onto the train out of Hereford. This train is going through to Newport. I've just been told by the lady that brought me a very nice cup of coffee that it's a 3DMU unit and one of the motors has gone down. So they're only going on certain stations. Then they're going to hightail it back up to, all the way up to Chester, where this thing will limp back and get repaired. Apparently it's a brand new train, so you can put it down to teething problems. I mean, these things when they're new, they have issues. But they've kept the train running. We're on the train, we're on target to go home. We're on target to win this challenge and get home by the end of the day as well. So keep fingers up in the air and let's hope we get there. The river that you can see winding through these trees just to our left here, in fact we've just gone over it, is the border between England and Wales around here.
We are now approaching Newport Gwent. If you are leaving us here, please make sure you have all your luggage and belongings with you. Thank you for travelling with Transport for Wales.
Well, we've made it as far as Newport in Wales. We need a train to Bristol and a bus from Bristol to home, and we've cracked it. Challenge accepted, challenge met, challenge succeeded. Let's hope that's the case anyway. As you can see, with Bristol Temple Meads behind me, we've made it back as far as Bristol. Now it's just a bus to Glastonbury to catch, and I think I've just missed it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm back in my studio, having been to Hereford back in the day. Challenge accepted, challenge met, and I've got a Mappa Mundi. Just like the challenger said, you've got to get a Mappa Mundi. We've got us a Mappa Mundi. So I hope you enjoyed this challenge. We've got another one coming up next week, I think. But for now, from this challenge, I'm home. We did it. Good night.